This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Stap Zone. So where were we? What was our last discussion?
I don't know. I was talking about my daughters and how, I have to
Yeah,
make
you're
a
going to
decision
shave.
on if I'm going to give
You
my
don't have to
daughter
make a
what she wants.
decision. If you don't cut that beard, that 13-year-old is going to whoop your butt, and you know
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, that's what we do as parents, right? Like,
Well, some
uh,
parents.
yeah, yeah. But I never had parents that were like cool like that. Would like take me to like a date and drive to meet my girl. Like I didn't have those kind of parents. It was always So I want to be that supportive father that's there that would takes her, and I don't want to embarrass her. So I'll,
Oh,
I'll
now you don't. Now you don't want to embarrass her. What about the past
yeah.
13 years?
Well, she won't remember that. Hopefully, she'll be good. So,
Sean Strickland back in the octagon next Saturday. I'm excited about it. Are you?
um,
That's a
I
yes or no
mean,
question.
um, I mean, I guess I am for just the content aspect, the press conference and the antics and like the funny commentary, but I don't know if I really need to see him fight again. I mean, I've seen what he does. We know he's a boxer. We know he likes to stand and exchange strikes. So I don't think anything unpredictable. I don't think anything's going to change. So I don't know if I need to see another one. But it's
He's
on
fun to
Paramount.
watch.
It's Paramount, so I'm going to pay for because it's already $9 a month, so I want to watch it for sure. But yeah, that's about it.
I got to figure out timing because Houston is an hour, before us. So I have to return the car by 12:30 in the morning.
Mm,
So I need to do one of two things. Here's my dilemma, since you wanted the dilemma on shaving your beard. So for whatever reason, the car dealership, which I believe is National, closes at 12:30 and doesn't reopen until 5.
okay.
It might be 4. I think it reopens at 4. My flight's at 5. So A, because it's off the airport property, like if it was at Tampa and because they do have the rental car right there, you might be able to make it. But with it being off and needing to do the shuttle, I can't drop the car off at 4 and make sure that I'm on that flight that leaves at 5, which means doors will shut probably at 4:45. So
Mm,
I have to do one of two things. I'm going to need to make sure that I leave the arena, whether it's done or not, whether Sean Strickland and the press conference is over or not,
okay.
by 11:15, maybe 11, because it closes at 12:30. Or do I take the car back Saturday morning, pay for an Uber to take me back to the arena, then take an Uber from the arena when we're done at 11:30, 12, 12:30, and do it that way? Which would you do?
I say you take a Waymo.
I don't know if they have them in Houston, and we dropped the
Um,
ball not getting in one.
we did. That's the biggest regret I have of the whole trip. Tell everybody about the Waymo uh, experience. Like for those that don't know, it's a national audience, so most people
Well, they
probably
have
don't
them
even
in
know what that
Vegas as
is.
well, I believe. I have them in Vegas, and they're cars that have no driver.
Yeah,
And somebody told me they're great to cut off in traffic
yeah,
because
because
they
they're
have to
forced to
stop.
stop.
Yeah, they have to stop. So there's my dilemma. I don't know. I know whichever I do, I'm going to regret. But either way, I have to get the car back by 12 o'clock, 12:15, which means I'll be at the airport for the 4 hours, which is no big deal. Do I play it safe, take the car back, and then just Uber it back and forth? Which will mean that the rental will be more expensive because the rental is, I believe, $160. If I bring it back the day early, it drops it to 110, but the Uber could be $40 each way.
And what time? What time does it have to be back?
The car has to be, they close at 12:30.
And you have to have it returned by 12:30, or the next time you can drop off is 4 a.m.
Yeah, and my flight's at 5. So A, that
Well,
means I would sit there in their lot in the car for 3 hours. I think I got to
well,
play it safe. I think
I
I got
don't
to play
know.
it safe.
I mean, according to Kayak, you can for $200, you can fly me over to Houston. I can go to the UFC with you, and then I'll return the car for you, and you have no more dilemma.
Uh,
I'll return the next morning, Sunday morning.
it's a
and my
waste of
flight leaves.
$200.
My flight leaves at 11:09.
Yeah, no, yeah, it would be a waste of $200.
I don't think so. We could go and have a good time in Houston.
I
Go
am going to
see,
have a good time in Houston.
go see Caleb. Go see Eve Edwards. Go see my boy RC at the Woodlands. Go to the UFC fight. Go hang out at the Alex Morano's, BJJ gym. We could have a good time in Houston.
Can you answer my dilemma? Do I return the car at probably around 11 in the morning so that I can go over there and get in line and be prepared for my run to the one available open spot? Or do I take a gamble and leave at 11? I think I'm going to just have to do the Uber.
I think you just invest in your guy. I've never done you wrong yet. And it'll be a better experience with the two of us dressed out with the Knockout Radio jerseys in attendance at the cage side.
Yeah. See, the difference between me and you is when you apply for credentials, you can't wait till the week of because it's already closed.
Just tell them it's me.
Yeah, they don't care.
Approve it. Oh, they care. They're gonna care. They should care.
All right. Who else is on the card next week? Have you looked at it? Do you know who's fighting next week?
Yeah, I actually have it pulled up. So
Dan Ige is your co-main event. Thoughts?
He is. Yeah, I mean he's fighting Costa, not Paulo.
Not
Costa,
Paula.
but nope. Who called out Paula this week? Was it Rampage? Who called out Paulo Costa?
No, Rampage called out that the
oh yeah, he called out
TikToker.
Tricky Loke.
Right.
But who was somebody
Somebody
called
did.
out Paulo Costa on our show? Was it Rockhold?
I don't remember.
I can't remember who called him out. Somebody did. Let's see.
O'Day Osborne's fighting.
Yeah, Spivak versus
Austin Vanderford.
Uja.
These are only the names that we can pronounce.
Yeah, that Paige Van Zant's wife.
What?
Paige Van Zant. Is that her husband?
Yeah,
Austin,
you said that's Paige Van Zant's wife.
Oh, like Austin was married to Paige Van Zant.
Julianne Miller. Like quite a few people that have been on the show. I mean, it's a decent card. I mean, nothing to, it's not a pay-per-view card because it's not a pay-per-view.
Yeah. But it will get more eyeballs because it's on Paramount. So,
well, they're all on Paramount.
Is it at the Toyota Center?
I believe so.
What a car though. I mean, we rented a car in San Fran. It was a Toyota Camry, electric, hybrid. And we drove everywhere in the Bay Area. And we went
and out of the Bay Area because we went to Santa Clara
twice. I mean, and we went to the bridge and we drove a lot and it was only one tank of gas for the entire week. It was, I mean, talk about it, fuel efficiency and economy and room for 5. I mean, a huge trunk. We got all of our luggage and all of our gear, all of our cameras and our tripods. That was probably the best car I've ever rented for sure. But makes me want to buy a Toyota. I mean, it is what an engineering like feat that thing was. And so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I want to buy one just because of that.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, the fuel savings, the money you save, it adds up quick. I mean, I got a Jeep that's got the aerodynamics less than a cow. A cow actually is more aerodynamic. So they've done wind studies on the windshield and the box. So, I'm driving this box down the road with the wind resistance and fuel. The only thing I don't like about electrical cars, though, is that it can lead to fertility issues and like all kinds of disruptive, endocrine issues or whatever they call that shit.
Did you say ship?
Ship, yeah, like the electric ships, like submarines.
I don't know what ships have to do with you ranting and raving.
I don't know.
You're an idiot.
Trying to read this text while I'm on the radio.
Read the card and just do what you're supposed to do.
The
Read
card's
the card.
over. Like there's no other names that you would recognize. So it's a great show. Houston, never been. Would love to go on Knockout Radio's dime.
Yeah.
Mikel Pereira, though, the somersault backflipping, controversial, illegal striking a downed opponent with his somersault backflip axe kicks, will be fighting Zachary Reese on the middleweight card, or middleweight division. So that's always an interesting look. I mean, always never know what he's going to throw at you.
I think I made the decision, since you didn't help me. The decision is I'm going to take the car back before the fights, and then I'll just stay there till the very end, kill a little more time. Hopefully I can get an Uber at some point. I mean, I should be able to. And then go straight to the airport. Don't have to stress. Know I can make it. That's what I'll do. I'll book the car now.
All right. Sounds like
Then I go to the UFC 2 weeks after that for the 5 days where they'll have the BJJ tournament. They'll have a slap. They'll have the UFC, which I believe is Holloway. And then they'll do Zuffa boxing on Sunday. And I'll do the same thing there too. Drop the car off and then do the Uber.
I'm available. I'm willing to travel and have passport in hand, ready to go to Amsterdam. So broadcast Knockout Radio for the World Health Summit.
We're not breaking that yet. Why did you bring that out?
I'm not bringing it. I'm not talking about it.
You just broke it.
I'm just saying I have a passport. I'm ready to travel, Randy.
I'm going to have it rescinded. I'm also going to hit this break on time. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Reggie Bush, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it?
That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Fia with Remax Realty Unlimited, 813-494-4873. For 29 years, I've had the honor of helping families across Tampa Bay find their perfect homes. As a national ranked award-winning agent, I pride myself on having the best customer service and deep local knowledge. Whether you're buying and selling in Tampa Bay, I'll guide you every step of the way. Jennifer Fio, 813-494-4873. Let's make your next move your best move.
Conveniently located in Pinellas Park, Cool Breeze AC is just one phone call away. Reach them at 727-954-3605. And their highly skilled and knowledgeable technicians will be at your service 24/7, ensuring your ultimate comfort all year round. It all starts here. Experience high-speed racing action along the spectacular St. Pete waterfront. The Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg roars through the downtown streets February 27th to March 1st. The NTT IndyCar Series kicks off its season, and for the first time ever, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races on a street circuit. Tickets start at $30. Buy your tickets now at gpstpete.com.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
This is Matt Hughes, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. I'm here. Circus Clown is there. Lorenzo Hunt, baddest man on the planet, coming up momentarily. Thoughts on the Super Bowl? Did you watch it? Thoughts on the Olympics? Are you watching any of that?
I watched part of the Super Bowl. I watched the halftime show, the Bad Bunny. I thought it was great. I liked it. I liked to see Ricky Martin. Since I'm a longevity expert and a guy that's in the biohacking space, like with this, kind of things like this, like light photons to control nervous system function.
Okay, first of all, just because we're streaming on all social media platforms doesn't mean the audience that's listening through the FCC, through WTAN, the Tan Talk Radio Network, has no idea the stupidity that you're doing. So at least describe what you're doing.
This is a crystal. These are crystals that use a light photon to structure, and restructure water and different types of liquid, because water is a crystal. So it's crystals, but it's using light photons to restructure it. And then when you put it next to your vagus nerve, you actually calm yourself down, you calm your nervous system down. You can relax on demand. So you put it on the crown of your head or on your heart or on your vagus nerve. But it's called Solara Gym. And it's another one of the biohacks that's built for longevity. And, and the whole point of the Super Bowl is that a guy like Ricky Martin and a guy like Kid Rock, are obviously living different lives. One looks like he's young and youthful and energetic and looks better now than possibly when he was at his prime. And the other
is Ricky Martin.
No, the other one is Kid Rock, who unfortunately, when I was walking down San Francisco, somebody said I look like Kid Rock stunt double because of my clown outfit, because it was all American flag and bibs and overalls, and it was pretty funny. But you could tell just from a cellular metabolic function, you can tell that those guys are living different lives. And so I'm trying to identify what the ones that are more youthful, and these kind of things are maybe not the answer to it, but I'd rather use it and not work than to not use it and need it. Right. So
you and Ricky Martin are alike in more ways than one.
Oh yeah. How's that?
No, just saying, we were in San Francisco.
Not gay, although I did have a rainbow roll. I don't know why people think I'm gay, because I take care of my skin, because I take care of my body, because I like to be youthful. I like to, protect myself. Like, I don't know why that because I do those things, somehow it dictates my sexual orientation. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's so obnoxious that, but I've had to deal with it my whole life. Like, it's not just now, it's just always. So, but I'm going to keep living my life and doing it my way, except for when my daughter asked me not to.
Exactly. Exactly. Take from the Super Bowl before we reach out to Lorenzo Hunt. Thoughts? Game was over before it even started. They interviewed some of the Seattle Seahawks defensive linemen and defensive players, and they said they knew the game was over after the first drive. After the first possession Seattle had, they knew that they stood no chance.
I think we were in the insider circle, inside the huddle all week. We felt that most people felt that the Seahawks were absolutely going to win. Their defense was too dominant. We know defenses win championships. So I don't think anybody really thought the Patriots would win, but they did think they had a chance because Drake May is that kind of once in a decade superstar breakout quarterback.
Is he?
Maybe it was possible.
Is he really?
I think that's what people are touting him as.
Well, that's what they're saying now, but that's why you vote before. He's the runner-up for the MVP. I didn't necessarily even think that was going to be the case. Everybody's already dumped it on the Patriots that they'll be back down to mediocre next year. That they got fortunate, that there was injuries, with Mahomes getting hurt, knocked them out.
Well, Knicks from the Broncos, that was kind of a layup, for to get to the Super Bowl. So
exactly,
not having the Denver's best player on the field. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out.
And then with Seattle, the way they played, they were dominant, but there's quite a few dominant teams in the NFL. and in the NFC. So we'll see how that whole thing plays out. Super Bowl next year in LA. When's it get back to Tampa? It'll be nice not to have to travel.
I don't know.
It'll be
LA 's
nice
gonna
if I'm
be-
credentialed first, and then if
LA is
I
going
am
to be
credentialed.
LA is going to be insane next year. Do you think
Well, I
they'll have
like.
time to, will they have time to put my Walk of Fame together and like do the stencil and get my spot reserved?
Yeah, they'll put that stencil where you're murdered, and the body outline will be on the ground. Yeah, I can see. I can help set that up. I know some LA cops.
You know what was great about the whole week was everybody knows my name now. So on the Walk of Fame, when they see M at symbol, everybody's going to know who it is. And next year's going to be epic, man. In fact, at the Taste NFL, when they're doing the media passes, they spelled my name correctly. So it's nice to be recognized and be.
Yeah.
I mean,
When you said, can you write M in the at sign? That's when they did it properly, as far as you're concerned.
they know how
And
to
then
listen.
then I think I heard him say, "There's that clown again."
Well, everybody asked me where my phone was when we went to the charity event when I was in street clothes and I wasn't in the costume. And of course my answer was it's in the car charging.
Which is worse, being called a costume or it being called an outfit? I guess costume is worse.
But that's the greatest burn on the U.S. government history. I mean, when Zelensky from Ukraine made fun of Donald Trump and Vance and all of our political leaders for wearing their clown outfits, their costumes, their suits, their expensive suit, and then he says, "Oh, I can go get me a suit, maybe a better suit. I don't know, maybe, but I don't have a costume, but I'll go get one." It's the greatest, that was the greatest roast of all time of any platform when Zelensky called our government clowns.
As we're sending them billions and billions of dollars. All right, let's hit this break early. Then we'll reach out to Lorenzo Hunt. Hopefully he responds. He's a bad man, and now he's chasing Mike Perry for that bad belt. Hopefully your BKFC champion when we return. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Steph.
Hello, this is Randy Jones. I'm the cowboy from Village People. I sing YMCA, and I sing a song called Macho Man. But you're listening to Knockout Radio and my friend, the Nacho Man.
Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Rhino Cards, located at 406
I'm gonna
11th
stop
Avenue
the
North in
stream.
St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg, on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North. It all starts here. Experience high-speed racing action along the spectacular St. Pete waterfront. The Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg roars through the downtown streets February 27th to March 1st. The NTT IndyCar Series kicks off its season, and for the first time ever, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races on a street circuit. Tickets start at $30. Buy your tickets now at gpstpete.com. Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds, from the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile. Every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-man strong.
Hey, this is the A-Hole Show. Wes Sims here, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris, my main man.
All right, we are back. 2 segments left here of Knockout Radio, back from San Francisco, from the Super Bowl. The week was great. The game was kind of brutal, but everything that we did all week long, and the clown continues to be a clown on the stream. You need to get on the YouTube and just watch this moron operate.
I'm just mixing in my munch. It's 2 a day, early morning, middle afternoon, converting sugar into dietary fiber. And man, I'm telling you, Randy, I mean, I know it's coming, but next year in LA, I promise you, I will be the reigning, defending champion of the world with a body built not by pizza, by biohacking.
Well, what's the words that they say? Reigning, they say something else. Undisputed. Just because you're the champion, are you undisputed if there's still disputes as to who the best fighter is? You know what I'm saying? Just because you're holding the belt doesn't mean that you're the undisputed champ. You haven't fought whoever.
I think it would be based on the promotion, right? Like the judges has to be unanimous. Like they unified that is the best, reflection or champion of the division or of their.
But there's always a dispute. There's always a dispute. Unless it's a knockout. Not always, but when John Jones beat Dominic Reyes, we'll say him. There was the other one in Toronto that I was at as well. Most people there, if not all, thought he lost. The Gustafsson fight. Right. Mm-hmm. So the Gustafsson fight that a lot of people thought he lost, and the Dominic Reyes fight that almost everybody thought he lost. So is it right to call him the undisputed when we all disputed it? We all said Dominic Reyes won that fight, except for 3 people that were sitting cage side, which made John Jones the champion. But isn't the kind of disputed champion?
I mean, I would say it's undisputed as far as like the promotion is concerned. But for the fans and for the people with opinions, then.
But it's not. But it's not, Matt, because even Dana White thought Dominic Reyes won.
Maybe he's not an official.
No, I understand that. So the officials said he won, but I'm saying for them to get on the mic and say you're undisputed champion when everybody disputed it, including the president, CEO, godfather, everything of the UFC, Dana White, thought Dominic Reyes won that fight. So sometimes I just cringe. That's all. Mm-hmm. He is the champion. He is the reigning. He is the defending. Just to say undisputed sometimes,
Well, didn't it come from boxing, though? Isn't it like when they have different organizations and they unify the belt? It wasn't that the terminology of where it originated? Like, because it's undisputed between the organizations and the leagues. So you have the WBO, the WCO, or whatever, all the different boxing leagues. And then they unify a belt. So it's undisputed from the heads of all those different entities that is the #1 champion of the world for boxing. So that's probably where it came from.
I don't even know how many times that's happened, that one boxer has held the WBA, WBC, WBO, IBF. I know that there's more, but at least they were, the 4 biggies. So to be undisputed, do you need every belt there is? Or just the top 4, the top 5, or 3 of the top 4. Like I said, it's just something that's always like, come on. To say undisputed when, there's been controversy in some title fights and the automatic rematch and, the eye poke or the this or the that. The most recent that happened with the injury, people are, well, not necessarily that, because that fight got stopped. He didn't lose the belt.
Right.
But not.
But
I want to. Yeah.
he did lose his vision, and yesterday, or I believe this weekend, he had surgery on both eyes to restore eyesight, and I think it highlights the point of that. You know, an eye poke can end your career. I mean, we will never know what Aspinall returns to. Will he have fear of hesitation of getting back in there? Will he have fear? Will he still fight within the same range? Will he still have the same kind of depth perception or peripheral vision from movement side to side? So we really don't know what kind of long-lasting injuries that caused.
Even more than that, how many times are we told that you're fearless until you get knocked out? And then you
Ronda
have that
Rousey.
in the back of your mind about, being knocked out. And numerous fighters have told us that. Well, now, do you worry about this all the time? Do you fight different because you're worried about it, especially when you're going to fight somebody that's known to keep the fingers out? And I still say that something serious has to be done. Warnings, stern warnings, harsh warnings, and one penalty, 1 point is not enough on a foul. Something needs to be done, whether it's the eye poke, the groin strike, the cage, they're fouls. And
Yeah.
until you start doing something, Derek Lewis has said, I'm going to keep doing it. Why not? Your children come home late nonstop because you don't do anything. And
Yeah.
until you lay the law down, until you say, no, I'm not going to shave, things just keep happening.
This dog, like, when we talk about frequency and like being a human being, like Miss Peaches is definitely a bigger star than Dave Portnoy. The dog that was with Herb Street. What if Max becomes the next superstar of internet, podcast, knockout radio? But he can sense my energy, man. He knows that I'm dialed in right now. It's like a magnet. He's like just attracted to like this energy where he can't go. Dude, I'm sorry. Go, just go. But that's how
Welcome
the
to
power.
professional radio.
No, but that's the
with
power
Matt.
of all this, Randy. It's like when you're
It's
really
not.
connected, when you're
It's not.
really in the zone, and then you start to like control your environment, like with the odors, control your nervous system. Now you can perform optimally, like with the Nix and the spray, all these things, not one thing works. It's a combination of to make everything work together seamlessly or symbiotically. Man, we're building something special here, Randy. And I know it's foreign and I know it's weird, but I do want to say this before I go get my daughters from school. I just want to say thanks for San Francisco. I want to say thanks for allowing me to be me. Thanks for letting me be as weird as I am, and thanks for being open-minded to like going to the Lee Steinberg's charity event, walking up to the 4th floor,
Yeah. What would you have done if I didn't find that?
and partaking in the biohacking conference that literally is the future of human performance, human recovery, human
What ran
connection.
through your mind when I told you, you better come find me? And then you said you already left. And I said, no, if you find me, you'll never leave. So when you went up to that 4th floor or 3rd floor, the 4th floor is where they did the press conference.
I didn't know there was another floor. You had
Well,
to
I
go
didn't
through
either.
a separate hallway to a staircase. It was this elusive warehouse building, and I didn't know. Like, and what was fascinating was like floor 1 was a speakeasy bar that had no neurotoxins. It gave you the same feeling of being in like a basement lounge of a speakeasy, but the drinks were just as flavorful as like an alcoholic drink. And then you had the 2nd floor, which was real alcohol, and you had food, and you had the mingling, and you had the 3rd floor, which was all autographs and like charity and auctions. And then I didn't know there's a 4th floor, but when I walked up and I saw the light, companies and the gemstones, and I saw like the healing frequencies and the PMF mats and the red light therapy and the brain technology. Oh, I could have stayed there the whole week. I could have gone just for that.
And you didn't want to leave to go to the Taste of the NFL, and I kind of made you. And then we bounced back and forth. But are you glad that you left your home, which was all the biohacking stuff, to go to the Taste of the NFL, where we got to run into one of the Griffin brothers, who's allegedly going to be on the program, to kind of make up for you dumping Barry Sanders to get them in Miami?
Well, it kind of highlights the point of like when you're in that zone and that frequency, it's magnetic, and you just feel like this certain connection with people. And going to the taste, I felt that connection. Like it was so strong. Like it was hard to break away. It was so much fun. And maybe the most impactful thing I've ever done in my life. And so time will tell, but man, what an experience. What a weekend. What a moment.
And we talked to, or at least I did, I talked to the head doctor, talked to Lee Steinberg about possibly broadcasting next year, which will be good and bad. Because if you're broadcasting, you don't get to walk around, you don't get to enjoy everything. We wouldn't have found certain things. So maybe we'll do pre, and then we'll stop for the first hour or two, before it gets totally crazy and insane, and then broadcast again, via the social media platforms, after, because this was later at night anyway. So, and what stinks is, granted, it was earlier than typical for both parties, but it's still 3 hours ahead here on the East Coast. So if we start broadcasting at 7, 8 o'clock at night out in California, that's midnight. Now, granted, we can just tape it, put it up on all the social media platforms later, like we're already doing. It's just something that we're going to have to work out. But no, it was a good time. I mean, we didn't have a whole lot of downtime. By the time when we left the B&B and when we came back, we literally were done.
Yeah.
10, 15, 20 minutes and everybody's in their rooms asleep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it was the overstimulation, the mental stimulation. It was just, it's a lot.
It was no stimulation. I went in the room and I was up for hours. I was on my computer. You know me, I'm going to be on the go until I'm not breathing anymore.
It's true.
So it was fun. But like you've said numerous times, to everybody, if you have an event to go to, start planning months before, not weeks or days before. We got those jerseys by the hair on our chinny chin chin.
Yeah.
It was a last minute. I get all that, but without that, I don't know if half would have gotten done. The jerseys typically, literally were the catalyst, and then the phone. Those two things together and combined pretty much made everything possible for what we did in San Francisco. And I'm printing up some of those photos of the bridge, which are incredible.
Yeah.
That I'm going to hang here in the studio. And yeah, I mean, all in all, it was definitely good stuff.
So what do you think we can do to top next year? Like, what do you think is going to take us to the next summit, the next level? What can we do antic wise that's going to get more attention than what we did this year? What do we add to it?
Unfortunately, there needs to be antic. As much as I cringe, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, that you're over, the phone worked. The phone absolutely worked. You could have had something different that didn't work.
Yeah.
A pet slinky or something stupid. But
well, what about the guy with the ladder? The guy with the ladder
had the commissioner on it.
Had the commissioner on a ladder. Like, that's insane. But
I want to know how you get the ladder through the airport.
Crazy, right?
Well, he probably just went to one of those
hardware
stores
store and bought it. But
right.
Get it through security every day and like walking around with the ladder. I mean, but it's one of those gimmicks that until you actually see it work, it's crazy. But
I think the phone worked better. I think
too.
you could have got the commissioner to answer the phone.
Yeah, if I would have seen him. Oh, actually,
Right.
I did see him, but I just didn't know it was him until he was gone. I just
Well,
like
that's
Berman. I really wanted Chris Berman on, but I dropped the ball.
Just don't cut in front of him while the camera is you think is off, even though it was really on. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
You need to watch that video.
Okay.
It's not good for him.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Started screaming at an employee that walked in front of him in the camera.
Well, that was the cool thing about it. Everybody was very respectful at it. I mean, I didn't see any real issues. I didn't see anybody bow up or getting angry.
It happened on Monday, when it was so crowded and, everybody thinks their camera is more important than your camera. One bitch that we do have is a lot of MMA sites used our question and answer, but didn't credit Dave Manley and Knockout Radio. Dave Manley hit it.
Dave Manley crushed it.
he asked both starting quarterbacks. They all responded. He asked your offensive player of the year. Are you an MMA fan? He went up to one of the, I don't remember his name, one of the analysts from, I think it's the 4-Letter Network. And he said, "Can I ask you a question?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, one question." And so Dave Manley said, "Are you an MMA fan?" He goes, "That I am not."
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I posted it, somebody responded, "Fantastic interview."
Yeah.
But he said one question and he asked it. But no, Dave Manley killed it. But like I said, a lot of MMA sites just took it and used it and didn't, credit, Dave or us, but whatever.
And it makes sense why Guillermo from Jimmy Kimmel was nervous and didn't want to stop to do the interview, was, with the immigration issue and ICE, and I'm sure he was afraid that he was going to get detained. Bad Bunny, being the center of attention during the Super Bowl. So, Guillermo, reach out, let me know when this time is appropriate, when you're not on the run. I'd love to get you on Knockout Radio. Love to get that interview in.
Bad Bunny's from Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
So Bad Bunny's an American.
U.S. territory, yes.
Well, they're an American. It's a U.S. territory. They're basically an American.
It's like Guam. It's the same thing. Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and there's actually tax advantages for living there. That's why Jake Paul and all those guys, they moved to Puerto Rico, because you pay less in taxes.
Let's hit this break. I think you're going to take off. Hopefully Jared will be on and we will talk analytics about maybe last weekend or this weekend, or let's see if he even jumps on. No bad man though. He said he'd be on, and Lorenzo Hunt. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by Staff Zone and 8 Man Strong.
Hi, this is Bruce Buffer, the voice of the UFC Octagon, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
It all starts here. Experience high-speed racing action along the spectacular St. Pete waterfront. The Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg roars through the downtown streets February 27th to March 1st. The NTT IndyCar Series kicks off its season, and for the first time ever, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races on a street circuit. Tickets start at $30. Buy your tickets now at gpstpete.com.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field, Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
What's up? This is Sean Lights Out Merriman, former Charger, now CEO, co-founder of Lights Out Extreme Fight, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back, coming to you live. Final segment from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. A lot to talk about. Last weekend's UFC, possibly next weekend's UFC. We still don't have a name for the segment, but Jared, what's up, buddy?
What's up? Still working on that.
We'll get to it probably in the next year or so.
Yeah.
Had a lot of things going on last week. We broadcasted, as you know, in San Francisco. We had a couple charity events on Saturday. So I am not familiar with anything that happened, but I do know there was controversy in the Dustin Jacoby fight.
Trying to think what that would be.
I think it was like they started to stop the fight and then didn't stop the fight, and then because they were ripping whoever the ref was at the time. I don't remember.
I mean, it was a dominant performance, I thought, by Jacoby, and really good performance. I'm trying to think. I mean, I think there was a little bit of hesitation on the stoppage, if I remember correctly, but I thought he he was getting tossed around a little bit in the first round, and I think people were a little too high on Julius, but he came out and showed what veterans do.
So run down the, what happened. Like I said, I didn't see it. I know a lot of our listeners did.
Yeah. As far as the Jacoby incident, I'm not sure.
No. I'm talking about the whole card. About the whole card.
Yeah, the card in general was a fun card. I mean, I think it was a good way to kick off the Meta Apex, and it was a fun card. It was cool to hear a little bit more crowd action involved. I think that changes the whole atmosphere of the Apex. I know there's always been some degree of fans in the house, but to now see actually have an atmosphere is pretty encouraging. Card itself I thought it performed to what the expectation was. I thought that the main event was a dominant performance from Mario Bautista. Again, a veteran stamp on that one to kind of kick down a contender that was coming up pretty fast. A lot of fun fights. I mean, I can definitely run through a few that I enjoyed, a few that I did not enjoy. There was a heavyweight matchup that I thought put about probably half the audience to sleep, if not all. I think the heavyweight division really needs to be looked at this point, because it's not what it used to be, and it's a little frightening, some of the top 10, top 15 contenders that are in that, and if they should even be there. But overall, fun fight from Mikhail Olazechuk and Marc-Andre Barriault. That was a banger. I mean, it was it led up for the heavyweight fight to be a fun fight to watch. Everyone was hyped up after that last fight, and then it kind of just killed the momentum. And then Horiguchi looked incredible. I think Albazi is, with his recent health struggles and some things, I think he's just unfortunately not to the caliber that he was in the past. So, but Horiguchi showed his veteran status. So it was really a veteran butt kicking. It seemed to me there wasn't too many prospects that really showed up in the lights for that one.
Before I ask you about what your picks and your analytics from last week and what came and what didn't, as you were talking about the Apex and the construction that I think they just fully completed, they now have, like, I don't want to say a restaurant, but where you buy food. They've never had that.
Yeah,
They have the hamburgers and hot dogs and trying to add a little bit more of an arena feel. I like the Apex. I like watching events there because it is smaller, it's unique, it's this, it's that. But the food aspect makes you feel like, you're at what was formerly known as Amalie Arena. But, how did your picks go?
Yeah, I mean, from my side, so last week, because it was an Apex card and it was a smaller fight night, it was nothing tracked on my end. I did put out some stuff to my groups, and everyone did a lot better than me, which is funny because that typically is what happens when you're blind betting. I get involved with it a little too much. You start chasing proposition bets and stuff like that. So, I mean, I passed along some fantastic picks that I didn't even take myself, which is sad when you say that. But I had a few people hit 7-leg moneyline parlays easily. And to me, I should have just done with what I said I was going to do. I was chasing some props. I hit a really nice prop on I'm not good with his name. I think it's Jakob Wicklotz, or he was fighting Muin Gaffarov, and he ended up submitting him in the final second of the fight, and I had him by submission. So they had to actually bring that to a review to overturn it because they didn't know what it was, like when he tapped. So that was huge, and that got me going because that was only the second fight of the night. But overall, I mean, I had picked some good spots. I picked some good money line bets, but the props didn't come through like I was hoping for. So I think more than anything, it's looking at when it's time to bet a prop bet and when it's not, and maybe just take the money line and take that juice number that a lot of people don't like to take, but people who are parlaying it are okay with that. So that's where the parlays came through, but some of the straight bets didn't.
Something that I've talked about before and asked about it, and every gambler is different. Some gamblers, they're trying to win the big money. So they're going the underdogs. They're going, some just want to win. So where do you stand on, nothing's a sure bet, but winning less money and going with the favorite, a John Jones versus a Dominic Cruz first, or is it better, my uncle used to always say to do the big bets because they didn't build these casinos by losing. So if you're going to win, the big
Win big.
bets of
Yeah.
the underdogs. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I definitely don't just bet just to say I won something. I'm trying to get value for sure. So I'm trying to put down the least amount of units to win the most to pocket as much as possible. So that's why, and with the announcing of the bonuses, which Dana White's doing submission and knockout bonuses now for every fight. So I thought that being in the Apex, all these fighters are familiar with it. I was going heavy on a lot of the finishes. Tend to be quite a few decisions that were rattled off back to back and quite a few through there. But overall, when it comes to betting, if a number sticks out and it's a mismatch and everyone is, kind of seeing it's a mismatch, whether it's a style, whether it's a veteran versus a guy who's being pushed way too quick because of style, like a stylistic matchup, he looks good or something. I'm on the veteran all day. So as long as that number is appealing and it's something that I can put some money into and feel comfortable, then I'll lay the 8 to 10 unit bets on stuff like that. And I have no problem doing it, but it's just, you really got to have a good spot picked out when you're laying stuff like that. And then even nowadays, these books are getting so good with lining these bets and lining the finishes. Even with before, you would see the book is, it's a mismatch. They might have a knockout at a higher value than the sub and you can't figure out why. Now it seems like they're just on point. So, trying to pick the actual finish and not go with inside the distance and try to get some more value, that's been tough. But
I just got a text from Matt, and I did Google it to make sure it's true. And I hate to, throw a downer out, but it appears that Dawson Creek star James Vanderbeek just passed away. One of my favorite movies, the old football movie. But I know that he's been ill. Not that makes it, better or not. But Matt wanted me to just mention that and bring a downer to the show just before we end it. So to anybody that's a fan of Mr. Vanderbeek, thoughts go out to you. Is it too early for you to start looking at next week? Do you wait till it's closer? Do you wait till they make weight? When do you start kind of really looking in and jumping into it?
Yeah, if it's I'm already looking. If it's a guy who's been here and done that a few times, I'm already going to be looking at betting it before the line moves. So typically when the line comes out, if it's a good spot, then you want to get it before the market takes over and starts to swing it. So yeah, it like the Sean Strickland and Anthony Hernandez, for instance. I think it's a prime spot for Anthony. There's for Hernandez to at least come out and be dominant on the ground. So that number is probably at its lowest point now, I would think. So you just want to get it before it flips on you or it goes all the way the other direction. So it all depends on the matchup. Sometimes you want to wait until last minute, whether it's guys who are missing weight and they're a totally different fighter if they have a bad weight cut, stuff like that. So it's all stuff you have to look at. It just depends on the matchup.
Or it's good if they miss weight because, when you say if they have a bad weight cut, if they miss weight, that's not a bad weight cut. And a lot of times, and we've talked about it, and I don't know the numbers, but how many times you miss weight, do you lose that fight? You didn't have the bad weight cut. So is that something that you would look at if somebody misses weight to maybe bet on them, not against them?
Yeah, statistically, if they're missing weight or having a bad weight cut, typically it favors the other fighter. There are some fighters that are now quitting their cut a lot sooner, and that's strategy and trying to not kill themselves or suck themselves all the way dry before they get out there. So again, it's with fighting, it's who's doing it, and it's who. Some of these fighters look awful on the scales, and you think that they're going to go out there and be just drained, and 24 hours is a lot of time to get back. So again, it's a fighter by fighter basis, but typically if I see a miss and they don't look good, of course I'm going to bet the other side just off of optics alone.
All right, I would play it off like I don't know, or I would play it off like I know, and we just want to let the fans know. And I know we only have about a minute left. The plus and the minus. Who's the favorite? Who's the underdog?
Yeah, so the favorite's always going to be minus. So you're laying more money. So if you're using it, if you're betting, let's say most people would use it in 100 increments of 100. So if it's minus 200 for you to get $100, you're laying 2. If it's a plus 200, if you're laying 100, you're going to get 200. So plus money is what we always want to see, definitely if it's a side you like. And that's, yeah, I mean, typically when it's anything over minus 300, so you're talking a heavy favorite, so you have a moderate favorite to a heavy favorite, that's when you're going to want to start looking at parlays, unless you're really willing to throw your bankroll out there.
We will talk more about this next week because I just jumped on one of the sites, and Anthony Hernandez is a huge favorite. So, we'll talk more about that and about betting, this card next week. Jared, as always, thank you. We'll talk to you next week. We'll come up with a name sooner or later. This has been Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. See everybody next week.